Tesla stock is trading lower today, around 0.5%, but there is a lot of news, some of which that is really positive. We will go over in this video. Not to mention the option activity in Tesla stock today from quote-unquote smart money is coming in 87% positive. You've seen 97 different large hedge fund institutional trades totaling $57 million. And again, 87% positive. If this was a moment of brand destruction, and if, well, some of the bears were correct here in some of their bearish comments that Tesla's never going to recover from this, that this is permanently the end of Tesla. I mean, I can't tell you how many of those comments I have seen in the past couple of days from retail investors. I don't think hedge funds and institutions would be taking the other side of that, going out and covering on short positions and adding bullish long exposure in the options market. That does not make a whole lot of sense. So here in this video, I will set the record straight what could be coming next for Tesla and why you shouldn't worry about what the bears have to say. Of course, you always want to pay attention to the bear thesis, but at this point, this is not a thesis. There's a lot of emotions running wild with the bears. First things first, Tesla's FSD supervised V13.2.8 has started rolling out to hardware for vehicles. FSD supervised V12.6.4 has started rolling out to hardware 3 vehicles. Release notes are the same as the previous versions on both. Tesla has urged a federal judge to axe the majority of a lawsuit accusing its self-driving cars of infringing a trio of autonomous vehicle patents. But here is some of the big news today. Tesla is now officially hiring in India, a sign that it plans to enter the country soon. Tesla has posted 13 job openings on its website, ranging from vehicle service, sales, and customer support to operations positions. The interesting thing about this is India has some of the highest vehicle tariffs on US companies. This comes just 5 days after Elon met with India's Prime Minister Modi. So it looks like there's going to be some kind of concession made on the ridiculously high tariffs that India imposes. As Sawyer Merritt says, the Tesla community has been waiting years for the company to enter India, and now it's finally happening. Now, to be honest, I have no idea how important this will be in the near term. India is very much still a developing country. You know, it's kind of like China 10, 15-ish years ago. India will be the largest market for Tesla eventually, years and years and years down the line. So it's important that Tesla establishes the brand in India. And the reason I say that is because India will by far have the highest population. So assuming India continues developing, that will be the biggest market for Tesla 5-10 years from now. So it's important to get that process started today. Even though 5-10 years from now, it's really, the Tesla story is not going to be about cars. It's going to be about humanoid robots. It's going to be about FSD technology and broader AI prospects that Tesla may grow into. But India is still important for the car market. And just judging off of India's population size of well over 1.3 billion people, I'm sure entering the Indian market today is going to have a positive impact on Tesla. Being reported today, 7,500 new Teslas were insured in China last week, which is actually very impressive considering the new Model Y is literally starting production today. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It would kind of be like paying iPhone 17 prices for when that comes out brand new for the iPhone 16 like a week before it comes out. Like you normally wouldn't do that. It is being reported today from Tesla's Asian X account that production of the new Model Y has officially started at Gigafactory Shanghai, with deliveries that are coming soon. Following Elon Musk's previous comments over the past couple of days, saying the new Model Y is going to quote unquote sell like hotcakes, that is not a CEO that is concerned about brand destruction. And I don't think you should logically be concerned with that. I mean, let's face it, 90% of Americans, Democrat or Republican, I would argue, agree with what Elon and Trump are doing. Yes, their approach is very brash. Their approach is very, just let's get it done quickly. But I think any logical taxpayer would say, I do not want my taxpayer dollars being spent irresponsibly. I think what's really going on right now and why people think there is this brand destruction in Tesla, in fact, I think this is actually going to be a positive for the Tesla brand, is we pay more attention to the outliers. The outliers right now, the small group that is angry at Elon, that is protesting outside of Tesla showrooms, is so different from the positive interpretations we get about Elon and the Tesla brand that we pay a lot more attention to it. So, even if it's only 10% or maybe even less than that do not agree that Elon should be doing what he's doing, we pay a lot more attention to that versus the 90% that love Tesla, that are actually growing into the Tesla brand, that support Elon and what Elon is doing with Doge. On that note, Elon Musk's Doge committee is expected to arrive at the SEC in the coming days. And what a time to be alive. Elon says, quote, if all goes well, SpaceX will send starships to Mars with Optimus robots and Grok in late 2026. And Elon Musk said tonight that he expects xAI's next training cluster to have 1 million GPUs worth about $25 to $30 billion, 5x more than their current 200,000 GPU cluster. Elon says, quote, we're already working on the next training cluster. We anticipate it to be roughly 5x bigger than the current cluster. Tesla has secured a new $366 million Megapack contract to build a 1.4 gigawatt battery storage facility in the port of Vlissingen in Netherlands by 2027. It will be the Netherlands' largest such project to date and enough power to power 200,000 households several times a day. BYD's CEO in a new interview says, quote, China's EVs are about 3 to 5 years ahead of the competition in terms of products, technology, and industrial chain. Not sure if that includes Tesla in that argument or not. A U.S. District Judge Court has denied Tesla's request to block Matthews International Corporation from selling its dry battery electrode technology worldwide. Dry battery electrode technology is the foundation of Tesla's 4680 cells. Rolls-Royce has unveiled their most powerful car ever, the all-electric Black Badge Spectre. With a starting price of $500,000, 650 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, 251 miles of range, and a 102 kilowatt-hour battery with deliveries that are expected to start soon. If you guys are not following me on X already, go ahead and give the X account a little bit of love. It is Michael Tyler over there. And I share a lot of things that you may never see in these videos, or I share them first. So if you want to be first on some of this information, go ahead and follow that X account. But Elon Musk posted this video from Alex Karp on CNBC, where he essentially says he's a Democrat. And 90% of people logically agree with Elon that these government programs should be eliminated, or there should be a cutback of this wasteful spending that is happening. And he more or less confirms what I have said recently, that we're likely not going to see brand destruction for Tesla because so many people logically agree with Elon. And again, as I've said before here on this channel, I think This is really just something to garner up fear at this point. There is no logical merit whatsoever that Tesla is seeing brand destruction. If anything, I do believe conservatives, people that were never really in the market to buy a Tesla anyways, or an electric vehicle, may actually consider buying a Tesla. Okay, if logically 90% of people agree that Elon is doing the right thing and 10% don't, how much is that 10% actually going to hurt Tesla? The argument is that 10% is very liberal. They are the ones that are buying the Teslas anyways. But if 90%, and a lot of these being Republicans, more conservative, more, friendly to gas-powered vehicles, opt to start maybe purchasing a Tesla, I think that could actually be brand accretive for Tesla. That could actually be a positive for Tesla's deliveries. And that is not something that you're hearing these days. In other words, I have zero concerns about Tesla's brand destruction. It's simply not happening. It can't happen with something as logical as what is going on right now. And again, if you guys don't agree with me, that's fine. I expect that you wouldn't agree with someone on YouTube that has, zero, credible titles, if you will. I did not go to a college. I do not have your traditional credentials. And, honestly, I'm way smarter than 90% of the individuals that work on Wall Street, and I know my shit more than them. Clearly, that's why we continue to be correct on longer term theses for Tesla versus hedge funds and institutions. But one thing I will agree with is Wall Street guys, hedge funds, institutions, quote unquote, smart money, they have more information than I do. Okay. They have more information than you do. They know people that we do not and probably never will. And that's why you do want to pay attention to what they're doing. You want to, quote unquote, follow the money. And what we see is the lowest short interest in the history of Tesla. Let me repeat that. Usually it takes twice to really get your point across. We have the lowest short interest in the history of Tesla. Meaning hedge funds and institutions are more bullish on Tesla now than they have ever been before. Why is that if we're seeing this brand destruction? If the world is ending for Tesla, or Tesla's world is ending for Tesla. Tesla's short interest of free float has fallen from about 3% down to 2.13%. You had 81 million shares sold short on December 13th, now down to about 59.6 million shares sold short. So that is about a 30% reduction in the total short interest of Tesla since you essentially hit that all-time high at $488. So as the stock has come down 30% of the short interest has also dissolved. So again, if you do not agree with what I say, well, then I'm sure you'll agree with what big money is doing, and they are exceptionally bullish right now on Tesla stock. In fact, we've never seen hedge funds and institutions this bullish on Tesla. It's never happened before. If you take a look at option activity, that also kind of, again, coincides with what these short sellers are doing and covering on their short positions. You can see today 97 different trades totaling $57 million with a positive order value of 87%. Over the past week, you had 3,000 different trades totaling $3.65 billion with a positive order value of 61%. And again, Tesla is down 27% from all-time highs. We see this time and time again where Tesla falls a lot and, people believe that Tesla is over, that the brand is somehow being tarnished. And this is not like a new thing if you've been in Tesla for a while. But I do want to be buying as many shares of Tesla as I possibly can right now, because I do believe Tesla will be a $900 stock by the end of this year. And I do believe Wall Street is getting this completely wrong. If you have not seen my last video that is titled Shocking Tesla stock to $10 trillion by 2030. Air quotes, nobody's paying attention. Those were not my words. Those were from Chris Camillo, that says the only thing at Tesla that matters is Optimus, and nobody's paying attention. And I think by the end of this year, that's going to be a big source of conversation and value creation for Tesla. Now, also in the news today, February NAHB home housing market index is down to 42 versus 46, as was the estimate, and 47 last month. Every subcomponent weakened, with future single family sales falling most from 59 to 46. And this is really what I believe, just interest rates starting to bite, and the true unaffordability crisis that is starting to show. Also in the news today, the law firm that Tesla is using to represent Elon Musk, they are prepping a bill that could salvage Musk's pay package. Richard Layton and Finger, a law firm representing Elon Musk and Tesla, has drafted proposed legislation that would overhaul Delaware corporate law. The bill, if adopted, could potentially pave the way for reinstatement of Musk's 2018 Tesla pay package, rescinded by the Delaware Chancery Court last year. Since that ruling, Musk and other business leaders have voiced criticism against the Delaware judiciary and told company leaders to incorporate in other states. And I really think that's behind this. The Delaware just really took a blow, not validating Elon's compensation package. Okay, imagine if this was anyone else that made a deal, grew a business, shareholders got very wealthy on the back of what Elon did, and then to be told at the end, you get nothing. I mean, if you are a startup company, if you're, a company looking to do big things, and you have a similar structure where if shareholders get rich, I get rich. What's the harm in that? You're not going to incorporate in Delaware. You're just not. If I was running, let's say, an AI robotics company or any other company for that matter, and I was targeting some lofty valuations and I wanted my compensation tied to the compensation of shareholders, have my interest aligned with shareholders, which they always should be. Okay, big red flag if you're investing in a company that the board or the CEO or the top executives do not have ownership in. Huge red flag. Well, I'm not going to incorporate in Delaware. That's the fact of the matter, because it's just not fair. And believe it or not, Elon being at Tesla is important, and losing Elon at Tesla would be a big negative. So, Elon's compensation package getting reinstated will be a positive for Tesla stock, even though some people would argue Elon is doing more damage than good for Tesla right now. That's ultimately not the reality. With that said, Tesla continues to run about 4,000 different ads on Google, a lot of which have to do with Tesla's energy and solar products. You can also see the global inventory numbers have fallen sharply for the Model Y. You did see a push of production, it looks like, in late January of the Model Y. And, inventories hit almost 18,000 at the highest point. They are now down to 6,700, which is good. You want to run down that inventory. And that's really, I believe, behind the low delivery numbers we've seen in Europe, China, and likely in the US in January, is because Tesla is really winding down production of the Model Y to get ready for the new Model Y, because you're only going to sell so many, old Model Ys when a new model is coming out. It's like, the Apple iPhone. You're going to see a dramatic reduction of iPhone 16 sales 2 weeks before or a month before the iPhone 17 comes out. And for whatever reason, Wall Street just doesn't understand that. They take the headlines and they run with them, but it's actually like common sense, right? And anyone can understand that. that has a couple brain cells in there. Model Y inventory is down to about 6,700 nonetheless. Model 3 down to 3,500. Model X super low down here at 1,600. The Model S even lower at 900. And the Cybertruck is even lower at 700. The percent of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average today is moving higher to 53.84%, up 2.5% on the day today. Far from a super bullish market. Really, you don't get to that point until you're like 75 to 85% of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average. Still, about half of markets are not even above their 50-day moving average. Like, this is still a pretty weak market when all things are said and done. The last time the markets were actually strong, went through a broad-based market rally, was that rally from October through December of 2023. You really haven't seen a super strong, market breadth thrust since then. And that's one reason why I do believe you will see markets get stronger throughout this year. CNN's Fear and Greed Index coming in today at 47, still neutral again. You're not even close to being in greed or extreme greed. As a contrarian indicator, that is positive. Market momentum is neutral. Stock price strength is fear. Stock price breadth is fear. Put and call options, extreme greed. Market volatility is neutral. Safe haven demand, extreme fear. Junk bond demand, currently in green. Today, the Dow is down 0.1%, S&P's up 0.1%, and the Nasdaq is down slightly, 0.04% in the red. Russell 2000 is up 0.5%, and the VIX is up 0.5% as well. Bond yields are moving up 6 basis points today. Really not a huge reason for that. You did see bond yields fall a lot on Friday, so they're just very volatile right now until we get more economic data that comes out. It could be partially due to oil markets that are up 1% today and natural gas that is up 5%, really as you get another wave of extreme cold setting over much of America. Gentlemen, with that said, let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. In the next video, we will talk more about Tesla, where I could see Tesla going next, and why I want to be aggressively buying the dip in Tesla right now. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day. If you guys want to come join the trading community, check out that link down below in the description of this video. We have a newswire over there. I do provide my long-term thesis on stocks that I'm invested in, a lot of which you've never heard about in these videos. Tesla's one of them. I have my long-term price targets, short-term price targets listed over there. But many other AI names and software names that I'm very bullish on that, unfortunately, you won't hear about here on this channel. So if you guys want to check that out, get access to all of my alerts every time I make a trade. Again, I have a newswire over there, all kinds of different things. Come ask me questions, personally interact with the community. Over 200 members in that group. Check it out. Again, link down below in the description of this video. Thank you guys that support super chats and memberships here on this channel. All of that is incredible to see, which I never ask for that. So thank you guys for those that do support in that way. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Nonetheless, I will see you in the next one.